at some point you just gotta win a seat, you know. I remember when Jagmeet Singh went to, I think is it seat Burnaby South? I think so.
Yeah,
Whatever
Burnaby
Jagmeet,
South.
yeah, so Jagmeet Singh is riding. I remember when he started running there, people were like, "Why is he running there? Does he like? Is he? Yeah, I don't think he's lived there." So there a lot of a lot of criticism on him doing that. That like he can't really represent the people. That conversation lasted maybe a few months. Now nobody cares about that anymore. Nobody cares. As a
Mhm.
leader, you want to have a seat, right? And that's also the thing I saw when I was looking at just Annamie Paul. I'm like, you're running literally in one of the hardest seats ever. Like the Liberal have dominated Toronto Center for a bit, especially with Bill Morneau. So
Mhm.
to decide to choose, like it, very noble, very noble to try to go into this community and try to help out because you feel like this is your community and this is the like it's your people, etc. But still, you're the leader of a party. You gotta just win a seat. Like if you and I, I don't like saying this out loud because I just say it, sometimes with my boys, I'm like, yo, you just go win a seat anywhere. Just if you have to go in the middle of nowhere to win a seat in a riding where you know you could win, you go there because you just look at the trajectory of Annamie Paul's political career. It's just been downhill, and I think it really could have changed if she was at least elected
Mm.
into the house. I think a lot really could have changed for her. And now it's like it's literally I think it's basically written in the stand that she's gonna leave the Green Party. Like I don't see how she could stay, especially I don't know if you saw Elizabeth May's interview on election night
Mm.
where she's like where she
Mm.
was talking, and I think she was low-key throwing shit at Annamie Paul, but she was like, we need to figure out how we didn't have a full slate of candidates, back in the
Mm.
2019 election, we had one, and like he said, she's like, and the election before we also had one. It's just I'm trying to figure out why we didn't have one in this election. Basically pointing to like what did Annamie Paul do to our party? And then we get to election night, and I didn't think she was gonna be fourth in the Toronto Center in terms of voter. Like she had a really awful, awful night in terms of voting share in Toronto Center. And it's tough to see because I think her voice in the house would have been something new, something that's
Mm.
kind of in a sense a bit anti-establishment, something that I know a lot of people would have appreciated, kind of trying to change the status quo in Ottawa. And she would always talk about that on the campaign trail, like about wanting to change the status quo in Ottawa. And she would have been that candidate for a lot of people. But again, she wasn't able to deliver on that. And, it's tough to see, you know.
Yeah, no, the Green Party has just been a mess for the past year, like a big, big mess. First of all, like about not having a full slate of candidates, like that's unacceptable, like even if you're a new leader, but I don't blame her completely because just the party also has been nuts, like
Mm-hmm.
the attacks on her have been, like just out of this world,
Mm-hmm.
and I think she's also made a couple of bad decisions, and I've talked about this, but I think it was a really terrible decision to try to run against Marcy Ian in Toronto
Mm-hmm.
Center. Even if she came in second, I think it would still have been like a bad decision. And Marcy Ian has been there she's been there since I believe since Bill Morneau resigned. So like
Yeah.
she knew who she was running against, So um it was just a
They
bad
ran against
decision
each
to
other in the by-election.
exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
true. In the by-election. So
Mm-hmm.
like she should have known and try to find another riding, maybe talk to Elizabeth May and be like, it's probably your time to retire. Let
Mm-hmm.
me, let me run your riding or something. Because I don't think Elizabeth May's voice in this upcoming parliament is going to be that influential. She's been there for some time. They don't have enough seats, so she doesn't hold the balance of power. But I feel like Annamie Paul's presence would have been felt. But like, and also I feel like like I don't think Elizabeth May would have agreed to step down. She agreed to like leave the leadership, but she's still running, you know. So it's kind of like,
Mhm.
you know, it's at some time, at some point you just have to retire, man, and for the good of the party. But I feel like, you know, that party is just a big mess.